All right, hello everybody. I apologize for the last video. I didn't even put an intro on it, and I had the power go out. Just it was kind of right at the end. There was a storm, and suddenly just the power went out. And luckily, I record on a laptop, and I'm drawing on an iPad. Everything's battery operated, but the Wi-Fi. Actually, that wasn't important. Something was important though because it did cut out. Like, both monitors went off. The monitors are on power. Anyway, but I did get through. Let me just show you without the pencil lines. Um, I got four nice clean panels here. These look okay to me. They aren't like spectacular jaw-dropping panels, but I think that they read really well. And we're getting the story across. It's all very clear. There's no typos in the text. It's my Achilles heel here. There is a problem over there. Over here in tones, whoops, yeah, I want to get rid of that. And over here as well. So I just finished this panel right at the end, and I have this little piece of computer equipment. And he's obviously um, lying to Lady Ravos, who's the oldest princess. Okay. Yeah, there's an interesting political wrinkle in how the line of succession works with the Mirdramids. There's one queen who lives for at least 1,200 years, actually, and our queen here has lived quite long. And then every 100 years or so, a damsel is born that can possibly take over for the queen, is hatched. And um, but the queen lives such a long time, but by the time the queen dies, the oldest damsel is also fairly old. She's like 900, right? Um, so it doesn't necessarily go to the oldest, it just goes to the most powerful princess. Because as soon as the queen dies, the damsels have to fight for supremacy and to eliminate the genetic qualities, even though they're all related, of the others. Ravos is definitely a more dangerous um, person than Illuminara, who is pretty kind, all things considered. I'm drawing this a piece of computer equipment. So I can't remember how it worked in King Lear. I remember King Lear abdicates. The sisters pretty much go to war, except the youngest one. Um, I'll have to review it. I'm going off of my college memory of King Lear. And their husbands. The sisters have husbands, of course. And they go to war for the lands belonging to the king. Hang on, let's get rid of some of that pencil. It's throwing me off. This is the 1960s computer terminals. Always have a checkerboard. I don't know why. Don't know what the use of the checkerboard is. sure it does something important. Shoot. It's always there. And to me, it just screams technology. Mysterious space technology involves a checkerboard, or possibly a bank of lights. A bank of mysterious lights. Drink my coffee with a hubcap. All right. A view screen of some kind. We're not going to worry about it too much because it isn't important to the story how it all works. It's also like kind of like the rule of superheroes. Every superhero can fly a plane, just about, right? You don't know when they went to flight school, but you do know that if Captain America or Hawkeye or Bruce Banner ends up behind the controls of the Quinjet in the Avengers plane, they just take over the plane and it's fine. Takeoffs, landings, they can do it all. Because it serves the needs of the story and because it seems to fit and it's kind of cool. And you go, okay, no problem. All right, now I got these guards here. They have long heads, and I made this guy's head short for some reason. So let's correct it. They have slightly different head configurations. And they're ant-like. These are soldiers. Murdermites come in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. And they specialize. Like the eggs are hatched in different ways. And most don't have free will. That's one of the things that I was careful to point out. Because I want to tell a story also that has a little bit to do with free will. It's the reason that the Luminara is about to be hunted on Brutalore. It's because nobody questions. Nobody questions it. Hero describes this mandatory, you know, fight to the death as tradition, um, which indicates that you could overcome it. You don't have to do it. What would be the harm if he didn't? And at some point, they must have not done it because they're an expanding space empire, and at some point on a planet, they probably conquered all the rest. All right. Let's take a look at those arms. If you're wondering what I'm doing as I zoom in on different parts of this drawing, is I'm trying to make sure that I'm following generally staying on model. He's got these claws. See the claws? Let's actually look at it with a pencil. One big claw, one little claw. One big claw and a thumb. So without using the pencil, let's just draw it in. Good times. Okay, looks like we're doing good. They also have these sort of pectoral plates that I have not really drawn here, so let's go ahead and put them in. This is looking okay. We might be getting done with page 4 today, I'll tell you what. Oh, by the way, I'm skipping work today. So my girlfriend, she had a visit with her mom, and she had to fly, right? So coming back late last night. She was supposed to come in like 9 o'clock, which would have been no problem. But the plane got delayed, the plane got delayed, the plane got delayed. It ended up being like quite late. In that I actually fell asleep, and I woke up around 3:30, and she still wasn't here. And then I was, you know, kind of figuring out what to do. And then she eventually came home at around 3:30 or so. Which is quite late. That looks like a little machine console. Okay, I also have this line. This is a line that's like the back wall. A simple wall pattern like this can help establish some depth. Fred. It needs a lot of rulers. I was getting a lot done in my sketchbook last night too. But anyways, I ended up staying up quite late, and the original plan was I was going to go pick her up as soon as she called me. She never called. She got in, like I said, around 3 in the morning, and just got a taxi. We don't live very far from the airport. I would say we live 10 minutes. I mean, we're literally very, very close to the airport. It's 10 minutes ride. Yeah. All right, let's take a look and see what else I'm missing. I think that's about right. Oh, looks like his head's got a big hole in it because I didn't finish this line. Here we go. What line am I in? Oh, I'm in the tones line. Stupid. All right, let's go ahead and use bubbles. All right. I want to make sure. So what I'm doing here is it was like this. I'm doing it like this to make sure the stacking is right. Stacking is super important when you're trying to create your speech bubbles. You want it to stack nicely right? And you want it for the bubbles to look right. Your speech bubbles. Speech bubbles are actually quite hard to draw. You would think that it's not the case because you go, oh, speech bubbles. You already drew all the comic. What are you worrying about the speech bubbles for? Man, bad speech bubbles will kill a comic faster than anything else. I'm letting it cross over. We'll erase that in a second. And the secret to getting them right is to use the panel borders as supports when you can. Make sure you have enough air in the bubble. Right, which means, make sure there's room. My air, it's like, it's got to have enough like space around the edges for it to look right. A lot of people are just tempted to just put things in ovals. Like you just draw a general oval. Right? We could just, like, if you just draw like this, right, it won't look good. Or if you draw the oval too tight, it won't look good. Or too big, same problem. Um, and this is the worst one to me, you draw like this oval, like the perfect oval. That's a problem too. You have to make it's an oblong, and you have to do the stacking correctly. And I didn't always do this. Like this is how it's supposed to be. Um, I had to learn that through much failure. All right, let's see. Let's get some tones on this one. 10% tones. 10%, baby. Tones should be on their own layer, which they are. Good. We're using our tones here as a sort of a shade. And because it's on its own layer, you erase, and it won't erase any of the other elements that you put on there. See? You can afford to be. Unless you foolishly put some things in the tones layer, which I did. Did some drawing in the tones layer, didn't you, Peter? Yes, you did. It's all right. We're going to fix that too. Okay. Let's get on to the ink layer. Get rid of this unsightly bit. I think that it's looking okay, except I don't like it down here on this side. Musty nib, back to the ink layer. And place that line. There it goes. I don't know if I like it. There's something wrong with it. I think what I might have to do is erase all that. We could do solid black as well. That's another possibility. And the place I want to use that, let's go to ink, is in the V screen. Even just a chunk like that, that's usually enough. Oh, and of course my checkerboard was left unfinished. That looks good. All right. Final panel. Close-up shot. We better be in the ink layer. We are. Okay. These are her schoolmarm lips. It's got a wide upper lip, and then the lower lip is small. Let's take a look without pencils. All right. We're on the right track. We need details. Now, her face, she has a little bit more fullness in the cheeks here. We want to make her look angry, so I think I should be curving the eyes. Way. She says, "The arrow, you treacherous fool. Guard, seize him." All right. The way her hair looks, she's got this sort of beetle thing going on with her hair. Whoops. So we're almost there. We're figuring it out. And it kind of curves in both ways because it curves out and it curves in. And then she has like these kind of beetle, like a stag beetle up above. Most of which will be hidden by her speech bubbles, and also we're not going to see a lot of it. Let's remove the pencil. I think one of the other signs of rage is tiny dots for eyes. Like her pupil size has gotten smaller. That kind of works, actually. Okay. All right, baby. With you. All right, here we go. I don't know if I like the hair. I think I just want to have her as with this sort of helmet-like headpiece where nothing's out of place, even when she's mad. Well, that's looking okay. All right. And let's put this down here as a shadow. Hero, you treacherous fool. Time for speech bubbles. Yarrow, you treacherous fool. You see how close it is to the panel border? That's too close. We want to give it back it off because that will be the air in the bubble. Guard sees him. Same deal. We don't want to cover her eye. It's an important part of the expression. But everything else, I think we're okay. All right. And then white. There we go. Now this one presents a little bit of a conundrum. If we back it up against the and use the panel border, as I have been doing, it will work. However, she's yelling, right? So we want to give her a yelling bubble. And the way to do that is, what am I doing? I put my black. There it is. Oh. Let me get back into the ink for a second. I don't like this line. All right. The way to do this is we want to show the force of the yelling. And it's not as easy as just drawing, you know, real quick. You have to make sure that the lines are all radiating outwards. I think I kind of blew it here, in fact. And I definitely blew it down here. But, you know, in general, all right, here we go. I think we're good to go. And let's try and see if this don't break. It broke. Where is it breaking? That's the second question. Oh, I see. It's breaking over there. Okay. When I say breaking, if it's got a hole and I do a flood fill, what happens? Also, I happen to notice weird little bit popping out there. And this is a weird little bit here. Right? And then you start looking for all the other weird little bits that don't make sense anymore. Like this little line here no longer makes sense. In fact, these lines may not make sense. Yeah, okay. Let's try it. Back to black. Back into the inky lines. Make sure you're using the rusty nib. You may be wondering, why is he using that weird brush that looks like it's broken and it's noisy? It's a noisy brush. It gives it an analog feel. It's like an analog warmth that it's creating. And I really like it. All right. Now, tones. I don't know if we need tones on this, but we're going to go ahead and try it anyways. What if we have tones here? Under the chin. I think that's okay. Let's do it. I'm just going to erase the excess. All right, Buddy Roo. Shit. I think we've done with page 4. And now we can get to more action as we go back to Illuminara in the escape pod and see what she's doing. And then we can introduce another character even. I'm going to make it my goal to introduce Centaur in the next page. On the last panel, perhaps. That's a whole page, though. Look at that. It's all clean. All right. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Princess of Apshai. This is my latest comic. Story is coming along great. Everything's looking nice and clean. All right, man. Talk to you later. Bye.